All right, let's pull back the curtain on a huge part of the IELTS listening test, the note completion section. We're going to go behind the scenes, crack the code on how it's actually built, and, figure out how you can beat it.
So, let me just ask you, have you ever stopped to wonder what the blueprint for a test like this actually looks like? I mean, what are the real instructions the test makers themselves are following?
Well, believe it or not, this is it. This is the exact instruction they get. Generate a listening test with notes, headings, and bullet point style answers. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? But trust me, this one sentence, it's the master key to everything.
Let's really dive into this, because this single instruction, it literally tells us everything we need to know. Understanding this is the secret. It helps you move from just kind of passively listening to listening with a real purpose.
Okay, so first things first, let's get our heads around the skill behind the test. I mean, why does this type of question even exist in the first place? Now check this out. This is what's so fascinating. The test is basically a mirror of a real-world skill. Think about a university lecture, right? You've got your main topics, your key ideas, and specific little details. Well, in the test, those just become headings, notes, and bullet point answers. It's the exact same structure, just in a test format. And this right here, this is the whole point. The test isn't just trying to see if you know English words. Nope. It is designed to measure one single core skill. Can you capture structured information as it's happening in real time? Can you sit in a lecture and pull out what actually matters? That's the real game. All right, so now that we know why it exists, let's break this thing down. We're going to deconstruct that blueprint and really look at the anatomy of the question itself. First up, you've got the headings. The best way to think about these is as signposts on a highway. They're not just titles, they're your map. They give you the entire context and topic before you even hear a single word of the audio. This is your chance to get a sneak peek of the whole talk. Next, we've got the notes. These are the big ticket items, the main ideas, the absolute core concepts of the lecture. So when you see a gap next to one of these notes, you know you're not listening for some tiny random detail. You're hunting for a key piece of the puzzle. And finally, we have the bullet point style answers. This is a massive clue. The format itself is practically screaming at you, telling you what to listen for. It's demanding short, precise answers, specific things like a name, a date, a number, a single important noun. It's not looking for a long, complicated explanation. So you see how it all just clicks together? The headings give you the big picture, the structure. The notes point you directly to the main ideas. And those bullet points? They test whether you can snatch those critical little details out of the air. It's a perfect system.
Okay, so we've taken the whole thing apart piece by piece. Now for the fun part. Let's turn all that insight into action. Let's build your winning strategy. And this is where it all pays off. Because once you know the design, the strategy just reveals itself. This isn't about hoping for the best. It's about using logic to your advantage. So here it is, your 3-step game plan. Step 1. Analyze those headings first. Use that quiet time before the audio starts to get a feel for the whole talk. Predict the content, predict the flow. Step 2. Predict the note type. Look at the words right around the gap. What kind of word is missing? Is it a person's name? A year? A measurement? Guessing the type of word you need makes it so much easier to find. And finally, step 3. Listen for those key words. Tune your ears to hunt for those short, specific, concise details that you know that bullet point format is asking for.
You see what's happening here? When you do this, you're not just a student taking a test anymore. You're actively decoding the logic of the people who made the test. You're thinking like they do. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. Now that you know the design, the blueprint, the logic behind it all, is this really a scary test, or is it just a puzzle, and you've just been handed all the pieces?